Hello YouTube, my name's Nero, and today we have some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, playing a bit of Search and Destroy here on the map Defender, running around with the IMR, and we got ourselves a pretty good gameplay. Truth be told, before this gameplay started, and before I started recording this, I had to look up the name of this map because I couldn't remember it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a really hard time remembering the names of the maps here in Advanced Warfare. Maybe it's because I'm old. I turned 23 4 days ago, so maybe it's because I'm old now. I don't know. It's just I'm having trouble remembering the names. I can remember the guns pretty well here in Advanced Warfare. Like, I can look at a gun like, oh yeah, that's that gun. I can remember it pretty easily, but the maps, not so much. I'm having a hard time remembering the maps. But I want to make this video talking about some news revolving around Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and just how freaking popular this game is. So some news has come out recently from Activision saying that Advanced Warfare is actually the biggest game launch of 2014. In fact, it's actually the biggest entertainment launch of 2014. Now, the criteria they're using for this is the amount of revenue earned by the piece of entertainment over the first week of it coming out. And because of that, Advanced Warfare has made more money in the first week of it releasing than any other game, any movie, any book, or even like musical launches like CDs and stuff like that, you know. It is the biggest entertainment launch of 2014, which is pretty crazy because throughout the years, and you guys I'm sure have talked about it, you guys have seen it, I've made a couple of videos on it, in fact, that everyone's like, Call of Duty is dying. Call of Duty is on the way out, you know. No one plays Call of Duty anymore. People still play Call of Duty. That game sucks now, you know. Everyone always likes to say Call of Duty is dying, and it's not popular as it used to be, but it's still just, it's a monster. Call of Duty is a living, breathing monster that just cannot die, it seems like. It is so ridiculously popular. And to kind of put this into perspective, I went through and I looked at some of the big releases of 2014. Now, keep in mind, Advanced Warfare is more popular during its launch week than any of these other games, and these games include something like Halo Master Chief Collection, which was something a lot of people anticipated, but a lot of people are having a lot of trouble with because it just simply doesn't work. But if you guys noticed, a lot of the games that have come out recently just don't work on launch. It's a really bad thing, but like South Park: The Stick of Truth, we've got Dark Souls 2, Destiny, Dragon Age Inquisition, Elder Scrolls Online, The Evil Within, Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Bros., The Sims 4, Titanfall. The list goes on and on of all these great games that have come out in 2014, and Advanced Warfare is more popular than any of them. More popular than any of them. In fact, it actually broke the record on Xbox Live and the PlayStation Network for the most digitally downloaded game on either one of those platforms in the history of the services of Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, which is pretty crazy that happened as well. And another little tidbit, another little side note, is that Call of Duty itself as a franchise has finally passed $10 billion in revenue since the game series was created back in 2003. So you think about that, man. The first Call of Duty game came out back in 2003. It's now 2014. We're soon to be in 2015. So this game is 11 years old, and it's going to be well over 11 years old here pretty soon. And the fact that it's still this popular, the fact that it still becomes popular, we really have... I don't know how to describe. What would you use to describe Call of Duty? It's a phenom, is what Call of Duty is. It is part of our culture, I think, at this point. It is so ridiculously popular as compared to literally anything else that tries. And it's this game that a lot of people have pandered as being the same game every single year. A game that doesn't really innovate. A game that doesn't change a whole lot. Now, with Advanced Warfare, they actually tried to change that around a bit. With Advanced Warfare, they tried to be like, okay, we're actually going to change around the game a little bit. Things are going to be different with this game this time. And it's true, with the new exosuits and all the exo movements and how that has worked, it's actually a very different game. And because of that, I think that's one of the reasons it became so popular. The hype for this game was pretty freaking real. Like, a lot of people going into the game, everyone was talking about it, right? A lot of it was negative, like even myself included. I'm like, this doesn't even look like Call of Duty anymore, because I'm coming from a very traditional Call of Duty background, somebody that's been playing since 2007, which is inconceivable to, I think, a lot of you. Somebody that's been playing Call of Duty for over 7 years now. Think about how long I've been playing Call of Duty, and then to look at a game like this and just the pre-game launch trailers, right, with no actual in-game experience, just looking at what it was, I was like, this is supposed to be Call of Duty? I mean, this is nothing like the Call of Duties I've played, you know, for the past 7+ years, you know? And then once I actually got my hands on it, I was like, this game's fun. This works. This works out really, really well. And I think a lot of people were in the same boat as me, where they were like, I don't like these exosuits. I don't like all this jumping around and all that crazy stuff like that, you know? And then once we actually all like got our hands on it, we all kind of universally agree. It's like, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm liking this. I can dig this. I'm liking this movement. It's pretty nice. I like how everything is set up. This is all just fantastic. fantastic overall. And I think because of that, Advanced Warfare has actually gotten a lot of positive reviews. Like, there's not very many negative reviews about Call of Duty, and it's actually kind of funny too, because like in the game critic business, like in that universe of people that review games for a living, like different kinds of people that either on here on YouTube or in more traditional publications such as like magazines and websites and things like that. No one really has much negative to say about Advanced Warfare, but either the multiplayer or even the campaign. The campaign, which I haven't even played yet, from what I hear, is more of the same in terms of a Call of Duty story. It's very linear. You're walking down the yellow brick road, and you have a lot of cinematic things. It's like you're playing a movie for about 4 hours or so. There's lots of cool, tense. It's a Call of Duty campaign. If you've played them before, you probably know what to expect. So that's good. It's not really changed around from that too much. I hear it's a good campaign, and that's great. I'll play it eventually, but I never usually play it that early on. I usually wait until I'm kind of getting stale in the multiplayer, then I'll go play through the campaign. Like, so this is who the Atlas Corporation is, and it kind of revives me in multiplayer a little bit more to know a little bit more about the story. But apparently the campaign's good. Universally, people are saying that the multiplayer is fun. Some people are having issues, of course. There's been a lot of bugs and stuff like that with the game so far. The combat record, for one, just didn't really work at all throughout the initial release, and of course the camo challenges were kind of ridiculous. Then they updated those, and then apparently by updating that on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, that just completely broke the game for probably 25% of its players. I'm just guessing at that. So apparently a lot of people are having issues on the last gen consoles with this game after the camo update, but still, overall, when the game is working, it's a fun game. There's a lot of kinks, and at this point, I think it's pretty, it's kind of par of the course for a lot of us to understand that games are just not going to work on launch anymore. Multiplayer games, have you noticed a lot of multiplayer games like Call of Duty here? We had Halo, the Master Chief Collection, we had Assassin's Creed Unity. I think there's another one that came out recently where you just don't work at launch. Things just don't. Warlords of Draenor, oh my god, if you guys like play WoW, the Warlords of Draenor launch was like the worst fucking game launch ever. Like, if you thought Call of Duty, because I play WoW, right? I like that game. It's a lot of fun. It's a good change of pace from like Call of Duty and stuff I've been playing for years. That game launch, right? The new expansion for World of Warcraft was so freaking broken, man. So many people were trying to get into it at once that you would sign in and you try to join your server that you play on, and I was in a 7,000 person queue. What does this mean, Nero? What is a 7,000 person queue? Well, basically, it's a server, right? It's a server where up to a certain amount of people can be in the server at once. I think I don't know the number. I know over 200,000 people play on the server, but I'm not sure what like the maximum number of people in the server at once can be. But I do know that I was in line behind 7,000 other people to be able to get into the server, which translated into about an 8-hour queue time, which means I have to wait about 8 hours before I can actually get in and play. So what I would do is I would wake up, I would sign into Battle.net, and I would try to get on, and I would get my spot in the queue. And then I would make my videos, and then I would upload them to YouTube, and I'd reply to people's comments, and interact with you guys, and read some stuff, and go on Twitter, and do all that kind of crazy stuff. And then maybe 7 or 8 hours later, I'd actually be able to play. Like, it was freaking absurd. Can you imagine that for Call of Duty? Oh my god, no one would be able to handle that. But so, online launches usually just don't end up working out very well, but once all the kinks are out of the way, I think Advanced Warfare is going to be a very fun game. Of course, I'm having a lot of fun with it here so far, and I think a lot of you guys are as well. I haven't seen too many negative comments in my videos. Not a lot of people really have much negative to say about the game, and it's been a lot of fun. And that's prevalent in the fact that it is the biggest launch title of 2014. It's the most downloaded game digitally on both Xbox Live and PlayStation ever in the history of both those platforms. It is freaking absurd how popular Advanced Warfare is, and I think it's kind of a slap in the face to all the people over the years like, COD is dying. COD's dying. It's never coming back. It's so bad now. It's awful. Everyone hates it. It's gonna die. It doesn't. Call of Duty just comes back bigger and stronger every single year. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys all found it helpful and informative, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel the video deserves. Of course, let me know in the comments, what do you think was the pinnacle of Call of Duty? What I mean by pinnacle is, what do you think was like the best edition of the series? You know, what game do you think was the best? Do you think Advanced Warfare is best, even though it's really early? Let me know, what edition of Call of Duty do you think is the best version of Call of Duty that you've played so far? Let me know about that. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.